welcome back to Stasis Geek. I hold my hands up once again because I'm doing something I didn't go to cinema see, and I've waited for the small screen, but I wanted to give my take on Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Now, since the cartoon, the board game, and of course Jeremy Irons' horrific kind of Dungeons and Dragons, this doesn't get any better. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Now, this is a franchise I want to work, but they seem not to be able to get the grasp of what they want to do, especially in this, the Jeremy Irons ones. It's like, do they want to go full serious or do they want to go full comical? And this one is do that and it doesn't fit. It's weird. It's a square peg in a round hole situation. And the cast, there's only probably one I like, and that's Michelle Rodriguez. The rest, you could have had anybody. Yeah, and that's the problem. Chris Pine, he's I want to say the lead, but you can't really call him a lead because he doesn't lead the film at all. He's just not that good in it. The best character is Hugh Grant, and he's the baddie. Spoilers. But Chris Pine just plays Chris Pine. He plays the same. I'm a lovable, quirky, exactly the same in this as everything you've ever seen. So the development of that character is really boring because there is nothing there. And the storyline is blur in this. The witch, or whatever you want to call it, that goes in there, is interesting. They don't fulfill that aspect of it at all. It's just badly written because they didn't know, we need to be funny, but not overly funny, but we need to be serious, but we don't need to be that serious. It's Dungeons and Dragons. But they needed to be. This needed to be really gritty, bit more darker, and go for it. But lead with one character. Yes, they're doing the group thing. Yeah. Because I'm guessing the cartoon had a group thing. But if you led off in this with two, you had the thieves, actual two thieves who were part of a thieves guild or something, that would have been more interesting story. Like, Michelle Rodriguez's character is kind of interesting, but she doesn't have any lines. She doesn't do anything. She has a couple of fight scenes, and then she has some, I'm going to call them silly moments, where she dated people who are kind of like human build, but shrunk down to 4 foot. And it's a bit odd. There's a rogue knight who really kick ass. And you're like, he might be, and he just goes. You're like, he's gone. So that's it. And then you're left with this kind of betrayal story that doesn't fulfill the moment because it's just everything is a MacGuffin. That's the best way to do it. Everything is put into place. There is I'm going to call it Odo in this, the shapeshifter, who could have been interesting. Again, doesn't do anything. There's good bits with her, but the CGI moments seem a bit quirky when it happens. There's the wizard. The wizard in it is, I hate this scripting. It's annoying that he thinks he's weak. Yeah? Thinks he can't do anything. And then throughout the movie, Chris Pine's character tells him, but you've just got to think, believe in yourself. And then at the end, that's how he does it. To kind of, for a moment in the movie, that is a split second. That didn't actually achieve anything. So, but he got his more powers to put on his helmet, believing in himself, not overachieving, not doing something. Not there was a challenge, they could have done something like Hercules, have a challenge, have something to overcome. No, he just believed in himself. So I could sit down, do nothing, and I believe as a small YouTuber, I'm going to get 20 subs off this. Because I just believe in that. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do another video. I'm just going to believe in that. People are going to actually watch my stuff. No, you got to actually overcome and actually do something. It's a horrible thing from Hollywood at the moment. Just believe in yourself and it will happen. What? No. So it's a shame. You know, like, I don't mind it being about thieves, you know, but it should have been about thieves. It's just too quirky. There's just too much silliness in it because I really want it to work. When the Jeremy Irons come out, I was like, yes, yeah. And then it was, oh, that's the way they go. Oh, it's terrible. This reminds me of a mismanaged Warcraft movie. You know, it's just that. It is just kind of that. It's just like, oh, you didn't know what you were doing. It's kind of like there was too many people had an idea and it just didn't work. You need somebody to do Dungeons and Dragons who kind of got that gothic kind of, you know, a gothic novel kind of geekish about them. Kind of like that. This needs to be that kind of dark. Kind of give that element to it and build upon one character and edge towards the others. And I think if they do this is probably a franchise would work better on the small screen than movie. Unless they set out, we're going to do a trilogy in stone, we're going to do that, it may work. But I think because you can build upon the characters and have, you know, some entanglements with all the elements of the a world, you know, Dungeons and Dragons world, and then just building characters to come in and then build the group, and then they can do their own side quests and then have, you know, episode by episode, you know, they all got that kind of pyramid story that all comes to a head. But this doesn't work, and it is bad writing. You're gonna love it if you're a 10-year-old, and you can enjoy it. You can watch it. It's not burn your eyes out. It's not there. It's very mid, and it's a shame. Yeah, all the characters that you should like just don't do anything, and that's the problem. There's no with the script. We're going to concentrate on that character. We just need to give everybody their little pocket. It's not, and then the main one of the characters just, yeah, like I said, the knight one. I don't know what race he's supposed to be, but just buggers off. And that's it. So if you're going to concentrate on Chris Pine and add everybody as his companions. If you're going to do Michelle Rodriguez, do exactly the same there. Or if you're going to buddy him up. But this was all about rescuing a daughter that didn't want to be rescued because she was pissed off with her dad, and then kind of bring the mum back from the dead. And it just a bit, you couldn't think of something, you know, of an adventure. You had to give this kind of, it's a family story once again from Hollywood, not a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. It's a shame. Yeah, and it's all the baddies, there's no threat to them, and there's no threat to your characters. So that's the problem with this. So yeah, it was supposed to be, I suppose, a action adventure comedy, but action, they're kind of mistimed because they're just there and then they're like, oh, look, a fight scene. That's not action. The adventure bit, the world building, the character building is just lackluster, so you can't do that. The comedy, there was a couple of minutes I went, ha, ha. That was it. The best bit in this is when, they have an arena bit. Don't know why. It's just their plot. And they kind of do the characters from in the background very subtly of the cartoon. That was kind of cool. That might work. If you did, let's go do the cartoon and actually do it as the cartoon starts, you know, roller coaster and all that, it might work. Actually have a dungeon master. Actually make it for that audience. But this was kind of, I don't know, aiming for an older audience, but not telling them adult jokes. But then it wasn't adventure and silly enough for the younger audience. It's kind of not in between because it's not for teenagers. It's just missed. It missed the mark for me anyway. But yeah, it is a mid. I'm going to give it out of 10, 5. If Michelle Rodriguez had more clout in it, it would have knocked that up because there's the story, not Chris Pine. Chris Pine, yeah, I know the story with the daughter is about that, but you could have made Michelle Rodriguez the actual main lead, and they did something. He died early on, and then she was still a promise to it. I know the ending. I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, but it would have made a better adventure story. It would have made, like the commitment of friendship, and there was a loyalty bond or something. It was, yeah, that should have been done. But yeah, 5. Yeah, it's worth seeing if there's nothing else on. That's my take. But yeah, give us your comment if you loved it, or you like me. I just want them to do D&D well. Just do it well. But yes, give us a comment, give us a like if you want to like. And as always, Stasis Geek out.